Hello there guys and welcome to XN Gaming Community. I am XenZibe and I'm here today to talk about the new news that's just come out about the Xbox One. They have dropped all of their DRM features and made the whole console completely region unlocked, so you can, for example, buy it in America and import it to the UK at a cheaper price, and it will work fine and dandy just like what the PS4 is doing. So this is a news article. Of course I can't stick the camera because my news article is up here. In fact, nah, just leave it. So anyway, BBC Technology News. This is a more reputable news source because it's an actual journalist, and it's more believable since it's the BBC, because then you can sort of trust them a bit, So not bashing any news places out there. That's probably a bad thing to say. Forget I said that. But just right. This is a news article by Dave Lee, the technology reporter on BBC News. He has said that Microsoft has made a dramatic U-turn over its decision to impose restriction on pre-owned titles on its new Xbox One console. So what this basically means is you can go out and buy a game, a used game, remember, play it on your Xbox and it will work fine. You don't need to register it, you don't need to link it to your account. They've completely done away with all of that. Well, when I say they've completely done away with all of it, they've not completely done away with all of it. I think you can still do that. In fact, I'm not too sure. Because they've not explained it fully yet, because if you remember last time they had the fact where you could go buy a game, link it up with 10 friends, and then one of them could play the game while you were playing it, and that was it, only one person could play your game. But now that I've done away with that, and now that you'll be registering games on your account, then selling them in a shop, so obviously something's got to be dropped, so I'm assuming that you can't do the sharing the games with your friends anymore, which was actually a brilliant feature, and I think that Microsoft shouldn't have dropped its guns like that, and they should have actually kept it. I know I was bashing them for it all and all that, but if you bring out an amazing feature like that and then say, well, we aren't going to do that anymore because of taking away all the DRM, then it's not really a good feature to have on the console to say that actually. So the basics of what they've done is you no longer have to check in every 24 hours. The only time you have to be online is when you're first setting up the console. So for people in the military, for example, get your wives, your partners, get a friend or whatever to sign up on the console, register the console, turn it off, ship it to you, and then boom, that's you got an Xbox. I shouldn't have said boom, that was a bad word to say. And then you've got the 24-hour check-in is no longer there, of course. I've completely went blank, I don't know why. You can trade in, lend, resell, gift and rent disc-based games just like you do today. There's no limitations to using and sharing games. It will work just like it does on Xbox 360. So again, goes back to my point that their new sort of feature where you can share your games with all of your friends and no one even has to buy it. They can just play it off your library as well. That must be good. Must be a way. The rules apply to games bought as physical discs only and do not affect games downloaded via the online Xbox store. That's a given. While we believe that the majority of people play games online and access the cloud for both games and entertainment, we will give consumers the choice of both physical and digital content. We have listened and heard loud and clear for your feedback, and we want the best of both worlds. However, there will be something of a trade-off for gamers. Right, this is the big bit here. Microsoft had planned to allow customers to trade downloaded games online in exchange for money off new titles. The change of stance means that gamers will no longer be able to do this, something gamers may regret in the future, one analyst suggested. Now, if you remember, that is a big, massive point, because you could have traded in your game online and got a new game for maybe even free, maybe even you'll have to pay like $5 for it. I mean, think about the possibilities of that. That is going to be a big regret for people in the future, because let's just say you want to lend a game to a friend. He lives all the way down in the next town, right? But on the Xbox, he could play the game right there and then, and you could play your game as well. Now you see, I know I was bashing all that, but see, once you've had the thought to process it, and once they've came out with this, it's really a bad idea to actually allow all of this. I mean, fair enough, get rid of the 24-hour base check-in, I agree with that, but what they had other planned, like, let's just say, you get a game, you activate it, you can all your friends can play it, and play it from your library. That was amazing. That was an amazing feature. But now that that's not there, the Xbox One, that was probably the only reason I was going to get, because games these days cost £54.99 in the UK. £54.99, £54.99. Now, I earn, what is it, like 60 quid every 2 weeks because I go to school and that. I really can't get a job. There is no jobs. It's this market these days. I know you're going to be like, oh my god, you lazy asshole, go out and get a job, but really, there isn't, and I'm on the job website 24/7, applying everywhere and never get anything back. It's how this world is working, unfortunately. So that is a big impact for me. So I need to go to school for 2 weeks, then spend that entire money that I've got on just one game. Whereas on the Xbox, my mate could have bought a game, I could have bought a game, we could have done it, in turns, and we would have both be able to play all these games, and it would save so much money. For example, if, let's just say, my mate, James, he bought Battlefield 4. Me and him could play Battlefield 4 together. Easy as pie. However, if I bought Watch Dogs, James could play Watch Dogs. All would be good. But now you can't do that anymore. I think that's what that's getting at. I'm not too sure about that. So, of course, there's a trade-off. It would be a case of you asked for too much and got what you asked for. That's what an analyst is saying, which is pretty correct. But I think it's a good thing if Microsoft listen to their potential customers and respond back to them. The fact that they have this technology means that they can always bring it back in a future point in time. So they can bring it back. They probably won't bring it back because they've listened to us and they're like, well, this was all your fault. You wanted us to do this. This is it. The future is no longer here. So, questions over handling the appealing games to us, an unexpected taking point at last week's E3 conference, the largest game industry event in the calendar. So, I took the opportunity to make a press conference to make a direct attack on Microsoft policy, saying that, PS4 game discs, they can be traded in, all that sort of stuff. But now, because of this U-turn, that doesn't matter anymore. I mean, that video that Sony made about trading games, here's a game, you play it, that attack on Microsoft, that is no longer, that's no longer necessary. I mean, they have really sort of fucked up. But the major point here, right, is, see, even though Microsoft did this DRM thing and all that, basically the Xbox is now just like a PS4. With newer games, with more games and all of that. But the big thing that you are forgetting, if you look at the specs sheet that I did in another video, when I compared both three consoles, the PS4, the Xbox and the Wii U, the PS4 is significantly more powerful than the Xbox. Now, what you seen at E3 was just some guys throwing together an engine and testing out the game. If you remember, when the very first Xbox 360 came out was Gears of War. If you look at the current Gears of War, it looks much better. If you look at Xbox when Crisis 2 came out, then Crisis 3, massive improvements when the developers eventually worked on their engines. What I'm saying is, maybe see doing the last legs of the Xbox. Maybe look at, let's say, the last game that comes out on the Xbox. I bet it'll be so graphically powered that it'll blow all of your minds away. And for the PS4, since it's more powerful, it'll just look much better. And plus, the PS4 is also 100 quid cheaper. People are forgetting that. 100 quid is a big deal in this current economy. And I don't know why. I've seen this news come out and then Facebook blew up saying, I'm getting Xbox One, I'm getting Xbox One. And I'm like, but you're not getting Xbox One because why? You've just pre-ordered a PS4 because it's cheaper. Now you're going to get an Xbox One because it's lost its DRM. I really don't see the point in that. The DRM before was absolutely, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was actually quite perfect. You could trade games with people. It was perfect, but now since you're not doing it anymore, they've sort of just deleted that feature. That is really not very good because that was the future. I mean, if you do think about it, Microsoft were right with what they're saying. Xbox is the future. You go towards the future. I know they said that a lot of times in E3, and I know you're hearing it from me, but it was really the future because if you think about it, in the future, are we really going to be going around to houses saying, here's a game, give me your game, and that's it? No, we're going to be online. We're going to be training all of our games online and having a blast, really. So That's just my opinion on it. I would love to hear your guys' opinion. Are you going to be getting the Xbox One? Are you going to be getting the PS4? Are you going to be getting the Wii U? People have ordered the Wii U's for some weird reason. I don't know why. So yeah, tell me in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. Remember, this is all solely my opinion. I would love to hear all of yours, of course, in the comments. So, the last point today, remember this, right? Don't make any stupid decisions. What I would do is wait for both consoles to come out, get one at Christmas, because then you'll have a big lineup of games. The consoles will be out of the little bugs and all of that, like they usually do at the start of when they come out, you know. Version 1 firmware is always very buggy. Day 1 consoles are always very buggy. If you remember the last 2005-06, Xbox 360 ROD issues, tons of issues. PS3 didn't have many of its dashboard features as you see today. Didn't you have an internet browser? I don't think. Did it have an internet browser? I don't think it had an internet browser. Do you think it had online messages, to be honest with you? It still doesn't even have part chat. So, it's just a lot to think about. So, if you do go ahead and get one of these consoles, I please beg you to wait till Christmas and then make your mind up. Don't go pre-ordering consoles because you think, oh, I'll have it first, you know, yay on me. No, because you're just wasting money. Consoles always drop price when it comes around at Christmas time. Always. Even on Black Friday, everything drops price. Even wait till then. It's good. It's a good time to buy a console. So thank you for watching. This has been XenZibe. This has been XN Gaming Community. The link to the article will be in the description, or of course you can find it at bbc.co.uk/news/technology 22980973 if you want to type all of that out. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.